Hi, my name is Kojo Oppong Nkrumah. I'm a Member of Parliament for Ofonsia constituency and Deputy Minister for Information. There are societies in which people do not have the freedom to express themselves or to say what they genuinely think about things that go on. There are societies in which people do not therefore have the right to use various media to express their thoughts, their inhibitions, their feelings. The societies in which this right exists are societies in which we say we have a right to the freedom of expression, like in Ghana and in many other countries. And it is out of this right to free expression that you have press freedom, so that people can use the various media provided in the press. People can use the press to, as it were, express their thoughts, their beliefs, their disbeliefs, their inhibitions, their desires, what they agree with, what they disagree with. So press freedom is the freedom to use the tools in the media to express a person's thoughts or desires. And it's born out of the right to free expression in any society. And for about 27 years now, the United Nations has designated the 2nd and the 3rd of May to commemorate the right to free expression and press freedom as a fundamental human right, and also to celebrate the work of journalists who practice through that medium, and to commemorate as well some of the risks that journalists go through in pursuance of their work, sometimes at the risk of losing their own lives. It is a big deal and ought to be celebrated because there's evidence that societies in which people are free to raise their voices, raise their issues, debate issues, put their thoughts out there, are societies in which you are more likely to find a best fit for what the society needs. And it correlates with the kind of development that you will find in these societies. And press freedom, therefore, is critical in the development of society, so that as people bring their thoughts together, people challenge some of the things that are being done, challenge authority sometimes, the society finds better ways of doing things. Press freedom, therefore, has a positive correlation with development in many societies. This year will be the 22nd celebration in the last 27 years since this right was commemorated. And the United Nations has recognized Ghana and has designated that the global event be held in Ghana in recognition of what press freedom and what the right to free expression has done in Ghana, especially since we returned to democracy from 1993. You would notice that because of the press freedom we have in Ghana and the right to free expression that we have in Ghana, the Ghanaian citizen is very, very much at the heart of our entire development exercise, taking government on, giving government feedback, always in an exercise of exchanging ideas with the one who governs. And this has gone a long way to accelerate the rate at which Ghana as a nation has developed. If you look at media practice itself in Ghana, across West Africa and Africa as well, you notice that our standards have grown very highly over the years and are worth emulating by many of our other compatriots. So celebrating World Press Freedom Day in Ghana is an opportunity to showcase, first of all, what press freedom and the right to free expression has done in a democracy like Ghana. But it's also an opportunity to showcase to the rest of Africa and to the world how we have done it here, so that others can also replicate wherever they are. The event is being organized first by UNESCO, in collaboration with the government of Ghana. These are the two principal partners that are organizing the global event that is being held in Ghana between the 2nd and the 3rd of May. But we are doing it in collaboration with media partners, the many hard-working media professionals here in Ghana, the many well-established media houses here in Ghana are the ones we are partnering with to stage this global event. The entire celebration will take place between the 1st and the 4th of May 2018. On the 1st of May, we're expecting all our participants to converge in Accra. We're expecting up to about 700 participants from various backgrounds: journalists, bloggers, media owners, civil society organizations that are interested in the practice of journalism will be arriving in Ghana. About 400 of them from all over the world, and the rest from here in Ghana will be arriving in Accra on the 1st of May. On the night of the 1st of May, around 6:30 p.m. at the International Press Center, we expect to have a welcome cocktail and vigil to receive all our guests who are coming from Ghana and many other parts of the world, and to prepare ourselves for the full celebration that starts on the 2nd of May. On the 2nd of May, the grand opening takes place at the Kempinski Gold Coast Hotel in Accra. It will be done by His Excellency the Vice President of Ghana, Dr. Mahamudu Bawumia. We will then have a keynote address on the new challenges that press freedom is facing the world over, and how all of us, various actors, must strategize towards confronting some of these challenges. And it's right after that keynote address that the various plenary discussions will start. And it is at these discussions that the global community of journalists and media practitioners, including those of us here in Ghana, will have an opportunity to shape how the world would begin to tackle opportunities and challenges in the space of press freedom moving on. If I just may take you through some of the major panel discussions. For example, on the second day, we will be discussing online speech, or what we today call new media or social media speech or practice of journalism, and whether or not it requires regulation. There are some who argue that in parts of the world where at least some minimum regulation is available, some of the risks are safeguarded. There are those who say that it is equal totally to press freedom and does not require any editorial standards and doesn't require any regulation, and therefore does not require regulation. The world will be discussing it here in Accra, and it's important we all feed into it to shape the global view moving on. There's also a panel discussion on the right to information and whether or not it really makes any difference in the practice of journalism and the fight against corruption. There are countries in which the bill has been passed into law, it exists but makes no difference. There are countries in which the bill doesn't exist, but media practice through other tools is excelling. There are countries in which the bill exists and is doing excellently well for these communities. So it is also an opportunity for the global community to have a conversation on the right to information and how it can contribute to sustainable development in Africa and other parts of the world. As we are doing this, we are also having an academic conference on the sidelines led by the University of Ghana, the Ghana Institute of Journalism as well, bringing together young trainee journalists who also want to have a hands-on experience on the job covering an event like this, and also helping to shape some of the global views with their ideas and their new tools that they bring to the practice as well. On the third day, we continue with some of the other plenary and side discussions. For example, a plenary discussion at 9 a.m. on the 3rd of May that focuses on investigative journalism and how today with modern tools it can help uncover corruption, help shape the attention of the society towards some of the things that society must pay attention to and deal with. Other side discussions include new mechanisms for providing for the safety of journalists, not just in Africa, but in other parts of the world where press freedom is also currently threatened. There's a discussion on sexual and gender-based harassment in the media industry. It's something that you often don't hear spoken about, but many practitioners argue exists and needs to be attended to. The Me Too movement in the US and other parts of the world recently highlights how it has been happening under cover for decades now. But a discussion like this will also provide an opportunity for media owners in particular to develop tools to protect the people they employ from things like sexual and gender-based harassment in the media industry. Some of the threats to media practice today include fake news, artificial intelligence, trolls and bots, etc. And while we seek to advance new trends in media practice, specifically, how do we manage these risks? It's another side discussion that will be taking place. So there are quite a number of interesting conversations and side discussions that the world is gathering in Accra to discuss and shape its mind on, and we must take advantage to help shape the global view on this. So to be part of the World Press Freedom Day celebration, you only need to either be a journalism student, practicing journalist, a media practitioner of any kind, a media owner, member of a civil society group that is interested in the work of the media or journalism as a whole. And you only need to go to the Ministry of Information website in Ghana. That's www.moi.gov.gh and register. Registration is free. So my message to media practitioners in Ghana is for us to take a keen interest in the World Press Freedom Day celebration that is coming to Ghana, because first of all, it is a recognition of our work over the years and a celebration of our work over the years. We should be at the forefront of this celebration. We should be at the forefront also in participating in the events leading up to it and in the main conferences themselves, because you would recognize that some of these topics up for discussion, some of these issues that are being shaped globally, give us an opportunity to make our voices heard, our views known, our thoughts expressed as the world shapes its mind on these subjects. And I would like to encourage media owners and media practitioners to dedicate airtime to frame content around the themes and the topics that the world is looking up to us to lead a discussion on. I do know that some of the media houses will be hosting colloquiums, public forums ahead of the event itself, and I encourage as many as can take up that to take that up. And then on the days of these sessions as well, to participate in these sessions and to help influence the global view with your thoughts if you're a media practitioner here in Ghana. I also do know that there are a number of private sector organizations that are interested in taking advantage of the fact that a global community is gathering here in Ghana, and they would like to take advantage of it for their own business purposes. I encourage them to attend to the client service unit here at the Ministry of Information, and we'll give them direction on how private sector organizations that want to participate can also participate and take advantage of the global media presence that is coming to Ghana for their own corporate benefit as well. The global theme for this year's World Press Freedom Day celebration is keeping power in check, media, justice, and the rule of law. And I look forward to seeing how all of us contribute to shaping this view the world over. So one of the highlights of the World Press Freedom Day celebration is on the 2nd of May, where the United Nations, through UNESCO and the global community of journalists, celebrates a journalist or a media house that has been outstanding in the year for its contribution or for his or her contribution to the work of a journalist. This year, the panel that is deciding will shortly complete its work and announce the winner. And that winner will be awarded on the night of the 2nd of May here in Accra at the World Press Freedom Day Gala Night. That will be hosted by His Excellency the President of Ghana, President Akufo-Addo, at the Kempinski Hotel. The Director General of UNESCO will be attending here in Ghana. So will a number of other ministers of information from Africa and the West African sub-region be attending, government dignitaries from Ghana, senior journalists from all over the world. A number of globally acclaimed media houses will also be present here in Accra. If you're a business entity out there, corporate entity out there, also bear in mind that the world is coming to Accra. Global opinion shapers are coming to Accra. It's a good time for you to have your brand and your product and service offering exposed to these persons, also in persons of your own commercial interest the world over.